In Europe, I tell a soldier to do something, and he does it. In America, I must tell him why first, and then he does it. Many soldiers I trained were paid with wilderness territory in the Green River Valley of Kentucky. As partial payment for my service, I received 2,000 acres in Hopkins County, and there were springs of mineral water. The potential of the area was obvious, and Green River Valley was perfect for farming. There were many types of birds in the Green Valley due to the migration routes. I enjoyed bird watching. I would draw them with pencil, add watercolor, and then add varnish and pastels. I tried to show them in their natural surroundings and make them seem alive. Kentucky was the 15th star and the 15th stripe on our flag. Yet there were still the notorious Hart brothers in the Green Valley. They were outlaws, and they were chased by a posse from Webster County, across Pond River, to Muhlenberg County. One brother escaped, and the other was killed. His head was placed on a pole as a warning to other outlaws and river pirates. When I came to the area, it was still the Wild West, and it was my home for some years. One day I was riding in Kentucky when my horse acted strange, as if he was walking on ice. Suddenly, the trees shook and the ground rolled like waves. It was a tremendous earthquake, and my horse told me it was about to happen. It was in 1811, the year of the comet, and the first great quake, that Nicholas Roosevelt brought the first steamboat in the West down the Ohio River. After that, steamboats became a more and more common sight. They brought big changes to western Kentucky. Locks and dams were built on the Green and Barren rivers to create a slackwater road for steamboats. As a result, you could travel from Evansville to Bowling Green by river. The Green Barren River Project was the first improvement of its kind in the United States. I built an expensive steam-powered grist mill at Henderson, near the mouth of the Green River. But it didn't pay off. It cost me dearly. I lost everything except Lucy and the boys when I lived there. My time in Henderson prepared me to paint the birds of America.
The combination of telegraph, trains, and steamboats meant there had never been a war fought at such a fast pace. The Civil War was the first modern war. The rivers from the Ohio into the South were vital to the movement of troops and supplies, and as a result, war came early to Kentucky. Federal forces had gained control of the Green before advancing to the Cumberland and Tennessee rivers. Months later, the battle returned to the Upper Green, and I became very familiar with the Munfordville area during that time. After the war, I lived on the Green, near Paradise. As luck would have it, I was soon entangled in yet another war, a war with a corporate monopoly controlling Green River traffic. I fought that corporation for some 15 years until the federal government finally intervened in 1888. The old locks were then repaired and new ones added. By then, I was 70 years old and profited little from my belated victory. But at least the grand vision of the Slackwater Road remained intact. It seemed like to us 12 miles an hour was fast enough, but the 20th century needed to move faster than that. There was trains and Model Ts, telephones, new roads, and so on. All that sort of thing ended many a business that counted on slackwater steamboats. It was right after the Great War and the Spanish flu. The law made drinking illegal. Women started voting long about then. Well, lo and behold, that's when I wrecked my boat. There was others still running, but she was never replaced. She was the Bowling Green. It was an end of an age.
The last night of March 1920, the wind was blowing and the river was high. They were headed toward the Ohio, hitting every town where the river goes. Stopped at South Carrollton like they always did. Now the pilot was a river man, descended from a river clan. Something told him things could turn out bad. He said, "Hey Captain, maybe we should wait. Stay tight here and we'd be safe. This old storm will pass in a while." Now I'm not trying to tell you what to do. You've seen wrecks and I have too. We don't want to lose the Green River Queen, talking about the wreck of the Bowling Green. Talking about the wreck of the Bowling Green. The captain said, "We're way behind. We gotta get on schedule and make some time. I've seen worse than this. It's time to go." Just pulled out, just left dock when they came upon a sunken rock. Someone yelled, "There's water rushing in." Had to think quick, had to think clear. Deepest part of the river's here, so they headed toward the shallow side to sink. The next day when the story broke, some folks thought it was a joke, and Captain Sturgeon had this to say: "Not trying to make you an April Fool. The story I'm telling is sad but true. Last night we lost the Green River Queen, talking about the wreck of the Bowling Green. Talking about the wreck of the Bowling Green."